Earlier this past week, I found my mind in a state of creating a lot of unnecessary complexity to things within the present moment, like my desire for change and just regular interactions. It drove me mad, and by late in the week, I realized it's just a need to apply my creativity elsewhere. I love diving into the depths of my mind, but that is no place for me to stay, especially right now. What I need right now is to pursue my creative outlets, not aimlessly create within the realms of my mind. I ended up going to sketch, and immediately as my pencil touched the paper, everything felt so effortless. I allowed myself to sketch how I felt, which came out in lots of random shapes and scribbles, but it didn't matter. It felt releasing of expectations, force, perfection. It was simply my creation. Today is Monday. You already know the motherfucking vibes. Monday meeting. So last week, I actually ended up diving into perspective a little bit, and I came to the conclusion that, when it comes to perspective, when your input of perspective of yourself, of the world, of yourself versus other people, whatever the case may be, but if you get an outcome when creating perspective that you do not like, most of the time you can go back to the qualities and the quantity of things. So what happens is both the things that you input into the perspective will hold a quality or a quantity, sometimes both. But what's needed to happen is a balance of those things in each side. So I did that last week. But now it's time for a new essential question. I'm trying to because what I like to do is just do it where I'm at. Where I'm at right now, I'm really just in creation. I see how critical, how important creative outlets really are. And I'm happy that I was able to experience this way, because the only reason why I'm really able to experience my creative outlets in a way where the sole purpose of it is to just release energy, not to be perfect, not for it to be cute, not for all these things, but literally just to release energy, is because I have suppressed myself for so long. So that's what it came down to. It's oh bitch, I gotta get this up out of me. It's not about how I don't give a fuck how it sound, how it look. It's just about getting it out of me. Because when you hold yourself so back so long, when you suppress all those parts of your being, your voice, your ideas, your creativity, you gotta let it out for that reason. I'm doing it for me, bitch, you know what I mean? Yeah, so I want my essential question to kind of be somewhere around that, because that's where my mind is at, honestly, just creating. But what question do I have for myself for that? I don't fucking know. Perhaps we could get to the essential question later on, especially as I go through my affirmation, which holds a lot of big things for me right now, and discuss. We'll come back to her. So the affirmation is, I deserve to feel good. When it comes to, like I just said, when it comes to creating, it's a matter of releasing this energy. That is what makes me feel good. And when it comes down to actually pursuing specific creations or certain creative outlets throughout the day, it's a matter of doing what feels good. So I'm not, and I was just talking about that yesterday, like, I don't like planning shit. I'm not gonna plan myself to fucking journal and do all these things. I'd rather just go with how I feel, you know, with certain things. So like, I put singing practice up there, but as far as stuff like that, dance and precision practice, as far as those things, I'll plan stuff like that out when it comes to practicing, things like that. But journaling, that's on point, that's on hand. But I think sometimes those creative outlets aren't pursued because of that lack of going towards things that would feel good, and instead going towards things that would feel comfortable. So this is actually something I first found myself doing last week, now that I think about it. Like, I kind of sit around, okay, what do I feel like doing? What would feel good to do right now, you know? And then just going from there. And sometimes making that decision was always so good. Like, I started sketching. Or before I started sketching, I'm sitting there and I'm like, it would be a good idea to sketch, because sketching is one of those things where, like, it's a lot like other things like painting, like no imperfection, no expectations on how it's coming out, but it also requires less tools, unlike painting. Like, I'm not about to pull out all that painting shit. So I was like, damn, all I gotta do is go grab that sketchbook. And I sat there for a good like 45 seconds until I had to like kind of force myself, like, okay, come on, bro, you know this is what good for you, get the fuck up and go fucking sketch. But you know, as soon as I start sketching, as soon as pen hitting the paper, I'm into it. It's just flowing up out of me, and it feels wonderful. I deserve to feel good. For me, that also applies to breaking away a lot of old habits. Like, it's a lot of things I'm starting to outgrow. I used to love spending time in my room. I could do it all day, every day. And it was crazy because just the other week, somebody was like, dang, like, what, how you be staying in your room all the time like that? And it's just like, yeah, it's easy. Yeah. Until it just was not. But what I would start doing, I started going to my mama's room. I ain't going downstairs enough, but I'm gonna go to my mama's room, get a little break from my room, come back. But no, that's not enough. I gotta explore a little bit. But habits like that, it's just, I've outgrown it, and it doesn't feel good anymore. It doesn't feel good because it's no longer spontaneous. Spending time with me is not spontaneous. It's the regular degular. That's not fun. It doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel fucking good at all. So I be spending some time downstairs and shit, allowing myself to do what is necessary in order for me to feel good, which most of the time is some type of outlet. If it's a scream, if it's a stomp, if it's a jump, if it's a go crazy, go stupid, just do that. Because I deserve to feel good. It don't matter how I look. It really only matters how it makes me feel. So, yeah. Other thing about doing what feels good is patience. This is where my conversation had went to last night. It's about patience with a lot of the things that I'm doing, or perhaps one thing in particular. It requires patience. It requires me to not rush myself, right? Which that is something that feels good. It feels good to be patient. However, sometimes, at times, expectations, obligations, these things within the mind can appear, you know, and it's just necessary that I stick to what feels good, rushing myself and putting pressure on myself doesn't feel good. It doesn't. I've been in a masculine energy for long enough. It's about time I get into some more soft, feminine energy. Not that I haven't been in that in so many other ways, but in order to fulfill a lot of the things that I'm doing creative wise, it requires going long run. It requires steadiness of patience, not just like, okay, I'm gonna be patient right now and then later it's still these ideas and shit and I'm gonna go and feel the need to rush shit. No, slow down, grab the ball. Like you trying to make your ass follow. Why every time I sing that shit though, it really makes me slow down. It really does. But no, that's what makes me feel good. The expectations, the obligations that I may even be creating myself, it don't have to be nobody else. Those shits, it don't matter, and it's not gonna help me. It don't feel good, and it's not gonna help. It's not gonna help the process go by any quicker. It's not gonna make it look any better. If anything, slowing the fuck down, being patient, looking at things for what it is right now instead of trying to anticipate the outcome of it and match up and align myself with that outcome within this project is not gonna help. It's not. Gotta keep my head held high, 'cause there's always gonna be another mountain. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. It's always gonna be an uphill battle. Sometimes I'm gonna have to lose. It's not about how fast I get there, it's the climb. So within is without, that's indeed without a doubt. So I plead you bring me out. Where's my map? I need the route. I don't mean to have a pout, but I see there's been a drought. I go to scream, but where's my shout? For so long I have allowed, now it's time that I sprout. Alright, I'm ready to do some singing practice. I have a few songs. I've made a few, and then there's like a couple old songs that I'm ready to drop. I'm ready to drop. No, like I just want to put them on my TikTok. But yeah, I have a few I'll be dropping this week, so I just want to get some singing practice in, get my notes all right and shit, and practice as well because I enjoy singing. And since I've been singing, there's been a few things that I learned about my voice, and the one thing I'm learning how to do with my voice right now is learning how to project it, you know, not make it loud, but like push it out. For so long I have allowed, I've just pushed it all in, so I'm learning how to like project and push it outwards. And yeah, that's my main goal right now with singing. So, and a lot of my songs now require that as well. Like, but let's get into it, shall we? My lane so smooth, it cannot be brushed. What I'm seeing in my body, what I'm feeling in my body is contraction and holding back. And when I do that, it's not an easy place to come back from. It's not an easy place to begin breathing again. I have to kind of stop and give a breather and continue going. Now I can make it look effortless, but it's still something that has to be done. And it's like, I want to learn how to push it out and bring it back in and push it out and bring it back in and push it out. from the top. You got this.
What are you guys watching?
Oh, I saw this. So I want to learn how to play the piano, and I thought, why not learn how to without the actual piano? Which there's actually ways to start practicing. And through me just like trying to do that shit, what I realized is my ring finger, she got no control. Like, baby, every time I go to move my ring finger, it's one of these bitches trying to move. Like, girl, can she be her own person? But I'm gonna start working with that. I love that though. But I watched the video, she gave some good techniques on how to learn piano without a piano. She gave some good techniques, but I'm gonna only take one, which is like just using a random amount of numbers for each finger. So 3, 4, 5, 1. Or yeah, so I would move my third finger, my fourth finger, or my third finger, my fourth finger, then my fifth, then my first. So I feel like that's a good practice, but I really just want to work my ring finger first. Cause bitch, every time I go to the 4, everybody else is moving. And it's like, no, bitch, I didn't say. But yeah,